Computer power supplies like the one I have right here, even from old computers, can really provide a decent amount of current with voltages ranging from 3.3 volts to 12 volts DC. In this quick and easy tutorial, I'll be showing you how you can recycle one of these power supplies from an old computer and use it for any of your DIY technical projects and other projects that I'll be showing you on this channel. Stay tuned! Here is a quick overview of supplies and the voltages they provide. ATX computer power supplies have an AC input of between 110 volts to 240 volts AC, depending on your region. This information can be found on the label of the supply and should be checked before connecting it to the mains. Some supplies also have a voltage switch to select between these voltages, normally located as shown. If so, it is important that this switch is set to the correct voltage, depending on your region, to avoid damaging it or providing less voltage than it is set at, which would not allow the supply to work. The DC output wires are typically orange, red, and yellow for the positive voltages, and black wires for the negative common ground. The orange wires are 3.3 volts, the red wires 5 volts, while the yellow wires are 12 volts. There is also a purple wire, which is a 5 volt wire but offers less current as it is normally used for low power USB devices. I had an old computer lying around the house gathering dust, but as long as the power supply was still in good working order, then this would be a great chance to give it some life and use. I cracked the case open and disconnected all the wires from the supply that were still connected inside the computer. I unscrewed the 4 screws holding the power supply at the back and removed it from the case to give it a quick test. Without the computer being connected to the supply, simply plugging in the power cord will not turn on the supply. This is very easy to accomplish. Temporarily, I just bridged the green wire to a ground black wire in the ATX connector with a jumper wire. Give the supply AC mains power, noting that the voltage switch in this case is on the voltage for my region, and fingers crossed that it works. You can tell this from the fan on the supply itself. If it spins, then it's alive. It's alive! It's alive! Now that we confirmed it works, I like to make things a bit more permanent. Switch off the AC power going to the supply for safety and to prevent anything from shorting. Then cut the green wire from the ATX connector and connect it to the screw on the chassis of the power supply, as this is also acting as ground, similar to the black wires. You can use a ring connector, but I just stripped the wire a bit further back and wrapped it around the screw and secured it in place. Each wire of the same color will provide the same respective voltage as explained earlier. However, the current supplied for each different voltage will vary as shown on the label. For instance, the supply I'm using in this video has a maximum current output of 18 amps on the 3.3 volt line, 22 amps on the 5 volt red wire line, and 16 amps on the 12 volt line. This power supply also has a 5 volt 2 amp line, which would be the purple wire. However, I am not using it in this tutorial. You do not need to use all the wires of the same color, as these will still provide the same voltage and current. However, wires of the same color can be combined to have a thicker wire, which allows for current to flow more easily, although this is not required. Since I am not exceeding 12 volts DC, the multimeter is set to 20 volts DC, The positive terminal of the meter is connected to each colored wire one by one, with the negative terminal connected to one of the black wires, to check that the DC output voltages are correct and remain stable. Looks good. The power supply can now be used in several different projects that require any of the voltages and the current provided by the supply. I have used mine to power several LED lights and even an automated cocktail bar that I will be showing on this channel. I hope you enjoyed this quick tutorial. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Until next time, thanks for watching.